Hey y'all, Mandy here from On the Grow, and today I'm going to share with you how I grow sunflower microgreens just like this using our silicone reusable grow medium. So stay tuned for the video. Let's first start with the trays that we're going to need for this grow. Here in front of me, I have 3 trays. The first one is a no-hold 1020. This is going to be our reservoir later on in the growth. Next, we have a mesh 1020. This tray is going to be used to put our medium into where our microgreens are going to grow. And last is another no-hold 1020. This tray will be used to place on top to trap in humidity and later reverse like this to become a blackout dome. At this time, we just need to set this tray aside. Now we just need to take our silicone reusable medium and simply place it into the tray just like this. And this next part is completely optional, but I like to give the medium just a light mist. That way the seeds just stick to it a little bit better. Because I'm using a 1020 tray to grow my microgreens, I'm going to be using 125 grams of the sunflower seed. I've already gone ahead and washed off all the debris on it, but I do skip soaking them because that step is not needed. So let's go ahead and seed our medium. Whenever seeding this medium, I'm just paying attention that I'm not grouping the seeds a whole bunch. That way they have room to breathe. The good thing about sunflower is because they are such big seeds, if you do happen to group them in areas, you can always go back in and separate them a little bit and it'll be perfectly fine. Now that we have seeded our silicone medium with the sunflower seed, it's time to water them so they can begin to germinate. When watering our seeds on this medium, I'm giving them a pretty long watering, but I'm trying my best not to pool the water at all on the medium. This way they can germinate nicely, but it also doesn't cause any issues. In addition to watering my sunflower seeds with the water, I'm going to give them a light mist with a prophylactic spray. This is just hydrogen peroxide and water. What this will do is help prevent any of the seeds that usually decay really quick from molding as much. And it's just something that I like to do with this particular seed variety. You don't have to do it, but it is a nice step to take. Now that we are all watered, let's take that tray that we set aside and we're going to place it on top just like this, so that way we trap in all that humidity. Next, I'm going to take a 15-pound paver right here and I'm going to place that on top just like this. And I'm going to take my tray and I'm going to place it on my dark shelf so that way it can germinate. Now that this is placed on our dark shelf, what I'm going to do is morning and evening, I'm going to check it for water and see if it needs another misting. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another update. It is day 3 of our sunflower grow, so we're going to remove the brick and take a peek at our tray. Yay! Okay, so we are seeing a lot of these starting to germinate all across the tray, which means we are getting good germination so far. What I need to do now is I need to go through and mist these. Whenever I'm watering too, I like to really focus the edges. And let's just take a peek at the bottom real quick. All right, so I do want to wipe that out. You don't have to do that. I just like to. Now let's place our tray back on, put it back underneath the tray, and put the weight back on. Now we're just gonna place this back on dark shelf again, and I'm gonna continue to check this 2 times a day, morning and evening. Today is day 6 of our sunflower grow, so we're going to pull this off the shelf and take a look at our growth. Now that I got the brick removed, first thing that I'm noticing is that the tray is being lifted up here, which is awesome. That means that these guys should be nice and germinated. This is exactly what I want to see on this day. Come in a little bit closer and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Notice how on this tray you're seeing more of this yellow sunflower showing rather than this dark seed hole. That tells me that this is now ready for the next step. So what we need to do now is we need to give this a nice watering. Watering is something that's very important with this medium type. And that should be good. Now something else that I'm going to do, which is completely optional, is I'm going to spray it lightly with a prophylactic spray now. And let's go ahead and take a look at those roots and see what we have going on down there. Ooh, these guys look good. What we're going to do now is we're going to take that tray that was on top like this, We're gonna flip it over into a dome, and we're gonna place this on our Blackout shelf for 1 day. I'm gonna come out later today also and give it another misting so that way they don't dry out. It is day 7 for our sunflower grow, and these have been in Blackout for 1 full day. And drum roll, the moment that we've been waiting for. Okay, I am in love with this tray. This tray is like a perfect height. I really like how my sunnies are looking, and I believe that we are ready for the next step. So follow me on over to our grow rack and I will show you what to do next. Now that these have come out of Blackout, it's time to go into the light for the very first time. And while we're at it, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my other tray of sunflowers that I have growing on silicone, so that way they can sit up here too. Now that these have gone into light for the first time, I need to start bottom watering them so they don't dry out. For that, I'm gonna be using 1 cup of water, which is actually a mixture of ocean solution and water that's been pH balanced to the 5.5, 6.0 range. So let's lift our tray up and pour it into the bottom. Perfect. Now I'm gonna do the other tray too. Both of our trays of sunflowers have now been watered. What I'm gonna do from this point forward is I'm gonna come out twice a day, morning and evening, and I'm gonna water them with about a cup or a little bit more, depending on what they seem like they need. The main thing is you just don't want them to start falling over or for the roots to start browning. If that happens, that tells you that you're not giving them enough water and you need to bump it up just a little bit. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another update. If you're curious what lights we use 3 of these 20-watt T5 lights per shelf for our microgreens. They've done a wonderful job for us for the past 4 years, so we've continued to use them. It is day 9 of our sunflower microgreen grow, and today is harvest time. The reason being is I am beginning to see that true leaf emerging between those cotyledons, and we don't want these to go any longer or they're gonna start getting bitter. To harvest this tray, I'm going to need a harvesting tool. For that, I'm gonna be using our green-handled knife here. You can find this knife on our website, and it comes very, very sharp, which is exactly what you need for tough stems like these. I like to use the scale so that way I can get the harvest weight of my tray, and that way I know how much produce I am producing. Boop. Let's get started. Look at that first cut. Those look so pretty. Whenever I'm harvesting, I'm being sure to come up the stem about 1 inch, 1.5 inches. That way I don't cut the silicone. The aroma that's in the air right now is so good. I am very excited to eat these later. We got a whopping 489.9 grams of sunflower microgreens from the single 1020 tray. Since we are done harvesting, I want to show y'all real quick how I clean off this medium and get it ready to be washed and sanitized for reuse. Getting my corner started. Perfect. All right, now that I have one side slightly started, all I have to do is just take this and go like that, and it just glides on through. Perfect. Now I have removed all of those stems and roots on this side. What I would do next is I would actually pick this up, and I can go through and remove the roots from the other side, as well as anything that is stuck to this tray. Just like that. After removing the roots, what we like to do with these leftovers is we compost ours. However, we've heard of people that will put them in worm bins. We know people that give them to their rabbits or livestock. There are even people out there who take these leftovers and trade them to their local egg dealers because chickens love the microgreen leftovers. What a cool way to get more use out of them. And if you're curious about how we clean this for reuse, I like to lather it with soap and hot water and make sure I sanitize it well so that way it's nice and fresh for my next batch of microgreens. Well, y'all, that was the end of this video. I hope I was able to help guide you through growing sunflower microgreens using our silicone reusable grow medium. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you dislike it, give it a thumbs down. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below. I'd love to answer them as soon as I possibly can. If you haven't already, be sure to check out our website, www.onthegrow.net, where we have a large selection of microgreen products and other gardening products as well. And also be sure to check us out on social media at On The Grow Farms. We are on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Happy growing!